In 2005, the world's biggest movie star and symbol of self-discipline went on Oprah and Unraveled.
I can see you're not. You know Katie once told 17 magazine, yes!
You've seen normal people act crazy, but what happens when an insane person acts normal? It looks like Tom Cruise is losing it, but this performance is really just his take on a person in love.
First of all, thanks for coming to my Legends Ball with Katie. Was that the best fun? Was that? Yes, yes! What has happened to you? That's how I feel about it. Something happened to you. I'm in love.
That same year, he does a 60 minutes interview with Peter Overton, giving us another glimpse behind the mask.
Here's the thing, Peter. You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
Soon he's dressing down Matt Laurer with the absolute certainty of a man who cannot conceive of being wrong.
I'm just saying, but aren't there examples where it works?
Matt, you don't even, you're glib. You don't even know what Ritalin is. You have to evaluate and read the research papers on how they came up with these theories, Matt. Okay? That's what I've done.
The year before this, he shows us what really tickles him. Cutting off a man's oxygen while flying a plane.
I had to descend because I didn't have enough oxygen. So I had a passenger in the back. So we figured out, you know, me and the co-pilot, that if we turned the oxygen off in the back guy, that we could make it at this altitude.
He can hardly keep himself together.
He fell asleep. He slept the whole way.
Wow.
He woke up.
He did wake up, yeah.
You know, when we were landing on descent, he... My hands are...
The passenger never knew this was deliberate, and for Cruise, that's the funniest part. But it's the leaked internal Scientology video that really shows us who Cruise is in his own mind. A messiah, Scientology's own Christ. He can't even go on vacation due to his higher calling.
Look, I wish the world was a different place. I'd like to go on vacation, play, and just do that. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what I want it to be. There's times I'd like to do that, but I can't because I know. So, you know, I have to do something about it.
And we all laugh at the sheer lunacy of his seriousness. But it does beg the question, how is this guy, even today, the biggest movie star on Earth? You know, 2005 was a bad year for Cruise, and if he had done those things today, he'd be cancelled in the blink of an eye. But Tom Cruise is the master of the Hollywood reinvention. After jumping on Oprah's couch and declaring himself an authority on psychiatry, his career was in tatters. So he systematically rebuilt his image, and that's the guy we see today. The chill, meme-loving Cruise who just wants to do cool stunts. And it works. The world forgets the scandals and embraces the action star. But again, this is an act, arguably Cruise's finest performance since A Few Good Men. To understand where Cruise is today, you only need to watch the official trailer for his latest film, Digger. Because it's not really a trailer for a film. It's a trailer for a character. One character assembled from 40 years of roles, who never loses, never doubts himself, and never apologizes.
I will not apologize for who I am. I will not apologize for what I need. I should have died so many times before.
There is no acting here, just Tom Cruise saving the world again and again. And this isn't a fan trailer even though it looks like one. Cruise is actually the producer. This is who he wants you to think he is. It's the most revealing thing he's done since he got caught screaming on the set of Mission Impossible.
He's so controlled when he's on camera, and everything about his public appearances is very, very controlled.
Everything is controlled. Every appearance is managed by his team. Questions and topics are okayed before cameras roll. His zest for life is back on full display. It's a technically perfect performance, but it's a little too much, and it gives away the truth that behind this heavily managed public image is the highest attainable level of egocentric narcissism.
Tom Cruise is a phony nice man. Tom Cruise has a surface persona that is, you know, over the top handshakes and huggies and wow and enthusiasm and this and that, and behind the scenes is a much less endearing character.
It's a mask so uncanny that it inspired the character of Patrick Bateman. So now when you see his mask slip, you stop asking how is this psycho a megastar and realize it's exactly why he's won. The question then is, what does it take to keep up this performance, and what is the cost?
I'm on the phone with every studio at night. Insurance companies. Producers. And they're looking at us and using us to make their movies. We are creating thousands of jobs, you That's what I sleep with every night.
Tom Cruise is a really interesting study in the recipe for success in modern society, because for most of us, the ego is a great servant, but a terrible master. Yet Cruise is the embodiment of what Carl Jung called the persona, the social mask we wear to interact with society, and Cruise handed over the reins to his long ago. We all have personas. You have a different one for your mum, your girlfriend, your boss. You present a different version of yourself to all of them. But Cruise shows you how dangerous it can be when you go too far into one persona. Let's go back to the 60 Minutes interview, because he's not doing an interview here. He's doing a scene. It has its set, the Church of Scientology, and its character Tom Cruise.
How are you?
Hey,
Tom.
Peter, how you been, man?
Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Long time.
I know.
Yeah.
There's just one problem. Peter Overton goes off script and starts asking more probing questions than Cruise likes.
Was Nicole the love of your life?
And it rattles him. You see him break form for a moment. He sighs, looks away, and thinks out his options to respond. This is a problem for Cruise. On the one hand, his persona is that of an approachable movie star. Then again, proximity to Cruise is on his terms only. He's allowed to get close to you, but you can't get close to him. And now, here's someone calling his bluff and getting personal.
What do you mean, Peter?
He's both warning off Overton while trying not to show he's rattled, while also buying time by asking him a question instead of answering. He makes an involuntary, very unrehearsed, un-Cruise-like movement of frustration and mild panic, where he stabs his tongue into his cheek. Body language experts say this signals anger and defiance at the premise of the question, but it also acts as a physical block, stopping Cruise from using his tongue to say what he really wants, which, as we know from the leaked tapes, he would have a lot to say. But the tongue in cheek also shows emotional dissonance. He's caught between two conflicting urges. One is the desire to lash out at Overton. The other is to maintain his careful persona. The tension comes out in a quick tongue movement. Afterwards, he struggles to even answer the question, looking down at the floor, shaking his head as if the mere notion of being asked about his family is ludicrous, and then bursting into fake laughter. He looks away again, still fake laughing, and when he returns his gaze to Overton, his eyes blaze with fury.
I mean, how do you answer that? How do you answer that question?
Just after asking how do you answer that question, he goes on to answer it. And the moment is only a split second, but Cruise's face changes from fake friendly to glaring with contempt at Overton before he immediately readjusts the mask to look sincere. He almost answers saying, "She's someone I but can't," and tries to flip the script again by saying he's planning on getting married again. Thinking perhaps that this will lure Overton into talking about him and his future, but the follow-up questions just infuriate him more.
You do?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And having kids?
Absolutely.
His acting skills are laid bare here, even though he's trying to look calm. Even through the screen, you can feel him burning up with anger at the interview's direction. He's lost control, and his persona feels a tremor pass through its skeleton. A small smile on the mouth, but eyes that betray everything. Overton's next question makes him feel naked and exposed, like someone can see him under his invincibility cloak. He needs to reassert control, but also do his best to keep his normal guy act going.
Here's the thing, Peter.
Yeah.
You're stepping over a line now. You're stepping over a line. You know you are.
He never says what the line is because it would be absurd. A reporter asking a movie star about their personal life is pretty much their job, but Cruise has lost control and needs to shut it down. He interrupts Overton trying to respond and starts using his name.
Questions
Peter.
that people want to know.
Peter, you want to know.
It's like when your parents say your name to warn you off whatever you're doing, and he follows it up with another dad-like caution.
Okay, so I'm just telling you right now, okay? Just put your manners back in.
At the end, he readjusts the mask, and we're back to the over-the-top smiles that don't reach the eyes and a hearty, spirited handshake.
Tom, thank you.
Peter, thanks, man.
What I'd call an interesting interview.
Thanks, pal. It was terrific. Thank you. Thank you.
Carl Jung warned us about this 100 years ago. When someone folds their persona into their actual identity, the mask stops becoming something you wear and becomes something you are. And Tom Cruise may be the most extreme case of this today. Because he doesn't play characters in films anymore, there's no Magnolia or Jerry Maguire. There's just one character, Tom Cruise, the heroic, capable, self-sacrificing man who saves the world and represents America. And this isn't just movies, where his stunts now seem more important than the film itself. No, Tom Cruise actually believes he's saving the world. He is the new face of what success takes in modern society, and the results are really disturbing. This is super interesting to me. I was looking at the videos and noticed how many of you watch these videos but still haven't subscribed. And many of you have actually told us that you're unsubscribed from the channel just randomly. So just a quick favor to ask all of you. Please could you check right now if you've hit the subscribe button, if you are a regular viewer of these videos and like what we do here, as we're approaching a really significant landmark on the channel in terms of a subscriber number. If there was one simple free thing you could do to help us, my team and everyone here to keep this show free and to allow us to improve it year after year, week over week, all we ask is that you just hit that subscribe button and double check if you've hit it. It's the only thing I'll ever ask of you. And if you do it, in return, I'll make sure every single week, every single year, we work to uncover information nobody else wants to talk about and show you the ugly parts of the world that need exposing now more than ever. I won't let you down on this, but please help us with a quick subscribe. I really appreciate it. Let's continue with the video. The slips in Tom Cruise's mask really give you an insight into Tom Cruise's psyche. Here in this interview that he believes is strictly for Scientology's internal use, the gloves come off and we see a completely uninhibited side of Tom Cruise.
Being a Scientologist, when you drive past an accident, it's not like anyone else. As you drive past, you know you have to do something about it because you know you're the only one that can really help. But that's what drives me.
He's exactly what Jung told us not to become. He's so deep in his own persona that he can no longer tell where the real him ends and the mask begins. Because Carl Jung's warning wasn't that the persona is fake and to get away from it, but the total identification with the persona causes massive psychological dissolution.
We are the authorities on getting people off drugs. We are the authorities on the mind. We are the authorities on improving conditions. Criminon, we can rehabilitate criminals. Way to happiness, we can bring peace and unite cultures.
And let's be honest, psychological dissolution is a pretty academic term, but if you wanted to explain it to a child, you just show them this Tom Cruise video.
You know, get those spectators either in the playing field or out of the arena, you know. That's how I feel about it. I do what I can, and I do it the way I do everything. There's nothing hard away from me.
Scientology isn't just a weird quirk of Tom Cruise, it's the scaffolding holding his psyche together, all run by a man called David Miscavige.
I'm David Miscavige, and this is the Scientology Network.
Miscavige is Cruise's best friend. He was the best man at all three of Cruise's weddings.
And that's why I say Tom Cruise is either the first most powerful person in Scientology or the second, just depends on your perspective. In terms of money provided to them, he's definitely number one.
Yeah, I think, are we talking millions?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Probably billions by now.
Second only to Miscavige and Scientology is Tom Cruise himself. He's their most powerful public figure and biggest financial backer, helping the church amass over $3 billion. That's Claire Headley, a former Scientologist and member of its 5,000-strong volunteer army, the Sea Org. The Sea Org are the labor force keeping Scientology's VIPs living like princes.
David Miscavige has decided the top priority for Scientology is to make sure its most popular person is happy and well-serviced at all times.
So when people say Tom doesn't leave because they have information on him or John, that's not the reason. The amount of power they receive from this church is like nothing in Hollywood. It is like nothing. There is no reason for them to leave this environment.
You can start to understand how Cruise came to buy into his own savior complex. His best friend is the pope of a group of people who are all told to worship Cruise like a deity. And perhaps that's how he justifies exploiting these people. Because ex-Scientologists like Claire aren't just saying Cruise is powerful, they say his role is far more sinister. As the first people they go to after escaping isn't the press, it's the FBI. And the FBI keeps hearing the same story. According to the Tampa Bay Times, who covered the investigation, FBI human trafficking agents are given the same story over and over again. Escapees allege that Scientology is a human trafficking organization, all disguised as a religion to give it special legal protections. They also allege that it coerces its Sea Org members to do manual labor for 100 hours a week for just $46, and they live in conditions comparable to slavery.
When she was just 6, she was made to work.
Doing all of the dishes for 300 people in the cafeteria and mopping and sweeping the floor, and I had to clean the dumpsters, and there was maggots in the dumpsters, and if you didn't work, then you would be sent to interrogation.
And if they decide a billion years of servitude maybe isn't for them in hindsight, there's no way out. No one is allowed to leave.
The facilities that one lives and works in are, patrolled by security forces and have cameras everywhere and are super secure locations that it is difficult to get away from.
That's Mark Rinder, and he had some pretty serious accusations against Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, the actor, Tom Cruise, is being investigated by the FBI for possibly using slave labor that he may have been involved in human trafficking.
John Brousseau was allegedly one of Cruise's unpaid employees, made to work on motorcycles and SUVs, and even renovated Cruise's airport hangar. He also had to train Cruise's household staff.
All these people take care of his every need.
Yes, and there's policy on how to talk to somebody. Like, you don't talk back, like, ever. You don't step out of line, you don't give an opinion, you don't make a face, you don't make a gesture, you don't sigh. If you step out of line in any way, you are dealt with by the church at your expense.
Tom essentially has servants.
Correct.
How many people?
A lot. A lot.
And heaven forbid you fail, because ex-Scientologists say that Cruise might have a little bit of a temper.
Where they had witnessed Tom Cruise throw one of his staff up against a refrigerator and be verbally and physically abusive.
Jung warns of this, the shadow, the unconscious counterpart to the persona that contains all the darkness your persona hides. And Cruise's shadow is allegedly unstable and narcissistic. Ex-Scientologists allege that he works together in tandem with David Miscavige.
At one point, David Miscavige even said, Tom Cruise said that he's going to come here and put your ethics in, which in Scientology language basically means he's going to beat you to a pulp until you conform.
With various media sources saying that Tom Cruise personally carried out brutal punishment beatings against fellow Scientologists, all according to ex-church members. In Scientology, a beating is referred to as putting ethics in, suggesting a physical thrashing will recalibrate someone's ethical register. Headley says this comes from the founder L. Ron Hubbard himself.
To put ethics in is the terms used in Scientology.
And Cruise speaks in glowing terms about his enthusiasm for putting ethics in.
Because I won't hesitate to put ethics in on someone else, because I put it ruthlessly in on myself.
So it's okay because he also beats up himself, and to be honest, the idea of Tom Cruise standing in front of a mirror, laughing manically and punching himself in the face while talking about ethics doesn't sound that implausible. While there's only one layer of his personality, the other is how Scientology serves him personally. Apparently, according to insiders, young beautiful women were auditioned for film roles that didn't exist, as they were narrowing down the choices to find the most impressionable, malleable partner for Cruise. These aren't just failed relationships, they're a system.
In mid to late 2004, Shelley Miscavige told me personally that she was now having to do a special project to find a partner for Tom Cruise. They then were doing auditions for a movie, but the actual truth is they were trying to find a partner for Tom Cruise.
There was an international effort within the world of Scientology to find the most beautiful Scientologists. Now, we were told that this was for a modeling thing or a film thing for some internal purpose.
This led to Cruise's Oprah couch jumping episode. But before Katie Holmes, there was another candidate who won the role of Tom Cruise's girlfriend. But unfortunately, she already had a boyfriend.
She She was forced to split up with her boyfriend at the time, and then she was sent to join Tom Cruise.
But she made one final mistake. She exposed the shadow behind the persona, the fragile ego beneath his tough exterior. She congratulated him for being awarded the Medal of Valor from Scientology.
She said, very well done.
It was probably, if anything, the fact she had the audacity to address him.
And for this brutal assault on his ego, she was whisked away and dealt with by the church.
She was sent down to Flag in Clearwater and made to scrub toilets with a toothbrush and made to do other, very degrading physical work as a result of this falling out with Tom Cruise. She had upset Tom. And there is no higher crime, apparently, in Scientology than upsetting Tom.
What does this say about Tom Cruise? That the toughest guy on screen implodes when someone beneath his station, his own partner no less, dares to congratulate him, as if she's somehow equal to him. It's the narcissist's Achilles heel. And it saved her years of misery that in turn went to Katie Holmes.
It cannot be overstated what a freaking hellhole Katie's experience would have been dealing with both of these maniacs.
The Oprah interview should have warned us that Cruise isn't playing with a full deck, not because he's gone mad, but because he's pretending to. Cruise's actions are telling. He pins her arms behind her and pushes her on TV. She glances back at him just before they get to the stage, either asking him something or looking for reassurance. But Cruise just keeps shoving her onwards. This is not an act of love, it's just control. She tried to get away and he dragged her out anyway.
But using physical force to keep someone from leaving a space is literally part of Scientology's auditor training regimen. There are specific drills on how to physically keep someone from leaving a space.
Holmes later realized she had to get out and spare her daughter a life in Scientology's grip.
She fired the staff that were assigned to her by Tom, bodyguard, advisor, handler, whatever, arranged burner phones. She got this apartment and she got away. She escaped and she called him while she waited until he was out of town up in Iceland doing a film shoot. And she then called him and said, "We're done."
Holmes is perhaps the only positive aftermath of Tom Cruise's story around. And it's still awful, but it points to a wider issue about Tom Cruise, Hollywood, and the nature of success in the modern world. You see, the qualities that make Cruise a tyrant are exactly the same qualities that made him the most bankable movie star. This recipe has been emulated by others too. Will Smith's brand was the likable everyman, charming enough to sell action, safe enough to sell family films, but that persona is vulnerable. It looks weak when associated with public humiliation. When Jada Pinkett Smith went public with her affairs, Smith's nice guy became a cuckold. He tried to publicly reassert himself. The Oscar slap was a persona correction, but society doesn't reward someone fighting to reclaim their image, only those who never lost control in the first place. The slap didn't restore the persona, it confirmed its collapse. But others like Cruise are thriving. The Rock's contract clause, that his character cannot lose a fight in any film, is another illustration of what Jung warned about. Not ego protecting a career, but a man so completely fused with his persona that a fictional defeat feels like a real one. Losing a scripted fight in a movie to a character who doesn't exist would send a tremor through the image he spent decades constructing. And that's where Cruise is today. Any interviews are almost always controlled. There is no more public Scientology evangelizing, no more vulnerable acting roles, just action. It was only the leaked rant on a film set that showed us the mania behind the mask is very much still there. The performance is more sophisticated, but the psychology underneath is identical. This isn't just about Cruise anymore, or even Hollywood, because society today, while happy to cancel people for the most minor infractions, will still reward people who commit to their persona entirely. The question is just where it ends. What happens to our society when everyone puts their persona before authenticity? Then we all lose our own individuality and instead use masks promoting superficiality. When that's just normal and rewarded by everyone, then it's almost impossible not to do this yourself. Every time you go to work, post on social media, or even just the way you see yourself is often blinded by this weird, malfunctioning mask. It's why our relationships become so transactional and performative. If you ever feel like you don't even know if you like your friends that much, or they don't know the real you, it's because your personas are friends and not you. If you find dating exhausting and pointless, or your relationship feels empty, it's because you're not with someone you want to spend your life with, but someone else's persona that fits yours. This is why we have a loneliness epidemic spreading throughout the world. It's seemingly why every elite and mainstream actor seems like a sociopath. where all the biggest entertainers and influencers are infamously known as being Machiavellian, never being able to form real smiles. And the reality is, unlike years gone by, having a mask is no longer a liability but an advantage. It's how you succeed in a sociopathic culture, and seemingly that's how we have people like Tom Cruise running the show.